Audio's on.
I ain't gonna lie, guys, I got nothing to tell y'all. I ain't. I'll have something next time.
This one. Thanks for more.
Where's Steve? Is he not-
Oh. I knew we'd be calling.
Is he?
I'll ask you afterward. Did you leave everybody else outside? Okay, I didn't see anybody.
Did everybody sign in?
It's just that kind of nasty day, man.
Did you sign in, Ross?
I think Ross blocked the street.
Oh, I gotta sign mine.
Yes, sir.
I'll put my name. I was just gonna say, you want me to do it for you? Hey, thank you, sir.
Hey, it's gotta look like an R and then a bunch of scribbles.
Yeah. Don't forget John behind you. Oh, that's not John. I'm sorry, Chris. I'll sign him in too. How are you, Chris?
Good.
We go over here tonight.
He's good.
Who's working tonight?
He's been helping us with the pay study, so he's here
Oh.
to case.
I was thinking to it. So you don't think Steve will make up for it now? Just in case.
I think we got everybody there.
Does anyone ever
It was
actually show
on.
up to that?
It was on a minute ago.
There it is.
I think Debbie turned it off. Trying to make me think I'm crazy.
Yeah, the controls to my phone.
No, you don't know who iPhone is. I have no idea. I'm gonna ask them.
Yeah. Guess we'll go ahead and start. Call the meeting to order. Everybody signed the roll call sign in. Also, whoever's joined us with iPhone, can we have your names for the meeting minutes?
Someone's signed into the meeting up there, but all it says is iPhone. There's no number, no name.
It's Dr. Trees. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
I was gonna say.
All right, sorry guys.
That's okay, Dr. iPhone. We got you.
I'm driving home from Morgantown in the middle of a snowstorm, so I don't have video.
Oh,
Be careful.
Be careful.
All right.
Probably.
All righty.
It was a long day, man.
Pledge of allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Anyone signed up for public comment?
No.
Approval of the minutes. Everybody have a chance to look them over? It was a pretty short meeting last month.
Which is good because Bob was doing the minutes, doing the AV and reading his hour-long report all at the same time. So,
Multitask.
I mean, we got it done. I don't know if any of it's right, but we got it done.
Look good to me.
I move to approve minutes as written.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes as written. All in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed.
I don't know count trucks.
Treasurer's report. I guess you can-
Yes, Treasurer Harris usually tells you, he tallies up the number of checks we sign. There's a bunch of them here, and I did not add them up. I'm not gonna sit here and do it right this minute. I can tell you that if any of you looked at the monthly report and you notice that we're based on our full year forecast, it's looking like we're gonna be we're running about 7,000 under budget right now. So 7,000 to the good. We'd like to be in a much better place than that. But a couple things, we have a $25,000 invoice outstanding to the county to reimburse for things that are related to the EMS transition, because we were not budgeted this year to buy supplies and, all these other things that we've been expenses. And some of them have been billed directly to the county, some have come here. And so there'll be that 25 coming back in. Full-time and part-time wages are both up, and that's for several reasons. One is a lot of hours dedicated to working on the EMS transition, which I do intend to invoice the county for and hopefully get reimbursed for. Two, we've had a number of people off the floor between COVID and maternity leave. I'm not sure which one's more contagious here lately. Sure.
I'm not done, don't look at me. I'll take care of it.
And we have one that's off for military that's gonna be off for quite a while, and we currently have one vacant paramedic position. So it's not that we have a bunch of, vacancies, jobs that are open right now, but we will, but because we have to come up with 9 paramedics somehow. But anyway, those are the reasons why those numbers are high, and there is some money coming in that will help offset. And I mean, we're not in the red, bottom line, we're not in the red, but I don't like being that close to the line. It's all Ross's fault. You go with that, chief?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's all I got on that.
Alrighty. We have a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
I move to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the treasurer's report be approved. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed. I take it the IAFF didn't send a report or anything?
Mike told me today that they would not be here. They are both at a training tonight,
Okay.
and they had nothing to report. But I just got that today.
Jefferson County Fire and Rescue Association report, roll.
Only have one thing, I didn't, I couldn't make it last month, I was sick, but the association didn't meet last month. But the only topic was, we were discussing possible future of the levy. Talking to the one gentleman from Charleston, so we're moving forward with researching that to see what we can do for a levy.
Is that the same gentleman you've been working with for a while now?
Yeah, it's when we talked to you about early spring and to the county commission too, yeah.
I was just curious if there's
Yeah,
some new guy or you're still
No,
the same
same
guy
guy.
sticking with you. That's good. That's good.
Sorry, he's back on board. He'll be lost contact for a while, with all the other going on, but yeah. That's the only thing that we discussed at the last, or they discussed at the last meeting, because it's solely dedicated to that individual.
Now, I believe the Fire and Rescue Association, once the new commission gets seated, is going to go to them and take their temperature, whether they support or not.
Yeah, that's part of it, yeah, and they want.
Because if they don't support it, there's no sense going forward.
Right, I think they will, but I'd rather for them to do a fee and not do that.
Well, they're elected and they don't want to raise taxes. That's what that's about. Every time, that's what they say. But do we want to at some point say we support that as the fire board also? I've been preaching that song for a long time. I said y'all should do fire fee from day one. We gotta do it at 9, I'm just saying eventually. Is that something y'all interested in?
Yeah, I think we should support it as a board.
Yeah, I just feel like if they come to the commission with, hey, the board supports this as well, I think it's worth something at least.
We can put that on the agenda for next month to bring up. That way everybody will have a chance to know about it and be here.
For consistency's sake, if we're moving as an agency towards emergency services, instead of having a separate ambulance and a fire, would it make more sense to combine into one? Don't give me that.
We
period.
preach that somewhere too, man. They got
Okay.
that.
We really want to, but when the state made this board
We're the only-
possible, which is the only one in the state, a combined board, they did not make possible to do one fee. So that really put the hurts to us. You know, as far as being able to do one fee for everything, just, it would be nice if we could get the state, get people on board in the state to change it. That would be really nice, but I think the rest of the state fought that pretty hard. They actually fought us becoming a combined board for quite a while.
It's gotta be back to all that.
But yeah, it makes perfect sense to do that. But we'll put that on the agenda for
Debbie's already got
next
it.
month.
I had, nothing really to update you guys on. I didn't have anything prepared, I'm sorry. But I will double down on what I said last week. We need to give more money, which I'm sure we'll get in the pay study. But we're not even close to competitive with Berkeley County even. So, I'm still looking at different things. I'll keep working that. I'll get some stuff to present next month. But money's definitely the key number one issue.
One thing you should look at as well, I realize it's not responders, but look at what raises they just did for the 911 center.
You talking about here in the county?
Yes.
Okay.
They did, yeah, but you know how to do that, don't you?
Oh, I know how they did it. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul,
Right.
but
They get, what was it 19.5% or something? I don't want to say that wrong, but it was a nice number,
Yeah.
but they eliminated 25% of their positions to be able to do that. And so I can't afford to get rid of 25%. All my positions are full. I can't afford to get rid of 24 of the people to be able to, you
They
know,
only have
Hey,
11.
get
They
right.
only have
We're in
11
agreement
out of
with you.
25, and then they eliminated 3 of the, to in order to do this.
I'm not advocating that you get rid of anybody, pay them more
Yeah,
money.
yeah, no,
We should give you more money.
11.
Oh, okay.
So they didn't actually get rid of anybody
No, right.
because they
just-
have vacant
all-
positions.
Right.
We only have one vacant position. We'd have to get rid of 10 people to make that
They have
work.
11 full-time, and then believe it or not, there are several times that they only have 2 staff
On the floor.
on the floor. 2.
and
That's going back to Hooterville days.
Yeah.
that's crazy. That goes back to when I worked out there back in 94.
Well, is there appetite for, and don't, I would support this, at least going to the commission, ask them to raise the ambulance fee to pay for the raises.
Good luck.
Because a 10% raise is like $4. You pay $40 for that thing. I mean, you're talking about $4?
The fee needs to be raised,
I,
regardless, right?
irregardless, yes, but I mean, I'm just,
When,
again, we can discuss it another time, but yeah.
just a little bit of background for you, when the
Yeah.
Fire and Rescue Association went forward originally to start,
Yeah, I know they wanted more and then they
they
kind of.
wanted
way back.
85.
Yeah,
Yeah.
several years ago.
85 when they originally wanted to start. And the commission said, no way.
I mean, a 10% rate, 10% though would be $4 on
Well, I
four.
believe the
They
when the
average,
association went with their pitch, they had a number that was like $85 a year, or was it $100 a year? It was somewhere right in there.
Right.
And then they hired a consultant to do the same thing that the fire chiefs had done. There were, as Ross puts it, pretty pictures in their report. They came up with basically the same thing, $85 fee, something like that. And the commission at the time, it was a bit like being at a yard sale where they were haggling down from the 80s. So the way the report was put together by both what the chiefs did and what the Delta group did was, here's what you need and here's what it'll cost to do it. And so this is what the fee needs to be. But then they sort of just haggled around the table and went from 85 to, I can't do that. Now I could do 60. No, I can't do 60, but I could do, and they ended up on 40. But 40 isn't
And that's
the
been-
number
that's
that
been
you needed to
2012.
do what you determined you needed to do. So then it was, okay, here's 40, figure it out.
Isn't that 2012 when that came through? Ish.
14 was,
14?
well,
So
so
we're-
12, it got enacted, and 14, it finally started doing
So
something.
we're 8 years out and has not increased at all. At the
Yeah,
very
it
least.
decreased. It went down to 35.
And now it's up to 39.50.
39. Yeah, okay. There's some arguments to be made there for sure. We could, I mean, that's perfectly reasonable to come to the commission and ask for too.
Yeah, I don't, to me, my position has been, I'm never gonna tell anybody how they need to find the money, but here's what we need. And however you find it,
It's a public good, public service.
You
It
can
comes from
find it.
taxes.
Ironically, some of it, at one time, some of the commissioners even wanted to dissolve the fire, the ambulance fee once this takes place in March. They think the billing will do 100%.
Sure.
You all get me in my soapbox. on that.
Let's not
I'm in
argue.
agreement with you on that.
But that is true. They mentioned they want to not have the fee at all.
I'm sure some of them would, just make good on some promises or whatever, but I guarantee right now it's the best time to do it. Just got freshly reelected, ain't gotta worry about their seat.
Yeah, we only got one new elected, correct?
And it should be your biggest award, guaranteed.
One other point too, on the dispatch center, they're giving $2,000 sign-on bonuses.
And they started to, yeah, I mean, I agree that it desperately needed, no question about it.
Oh, yeah, they need help.
$22 an hour.
I don't deprive them of anything that they're going out there. I think
Yeah,
they deserve a penny. In fact, I told them it was great, and the thing I liked even better than the sign-on bonus was they are doing a referral program. I think, and I told Jeff, the director, you should have asked for more, because, you know, if you can, birds of a feather flock together, so if you have your good employees bringing in good employees,
Yeah.
that's based on what you've learned to me about sign-on bonuses. Yeah, I'd like to see us sort of focus on that referral part, put more money in that. Anyway,
No, I agree 100%.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
Director's report.
I think you saw in your packet, we have the former training ambulance. It really is not going to be necessary for us to have a dedicated training ambulance anymore, since there'll be several reserve ambulances. We're always trying to reduce the number of rolling stock we have out here. So we got rid of something not too long ago, and now we're trying to get rid of these two. The 2012 Expedition, we had planned to get rid of that a while back. We held on to it temporarily for several reasons. One, we were getting through, you know, Bambi versus the one and all those other things. But now we're to a point where these vehicles are no longer needed. So asking for the board's permission to, I assume you want to do as we have in the past and put them up for sealed bid with that to close at the next board meeting.
None of the stations want or need or.
Well, I don't think any of the stations are looking to buy any ambulances right now.
Well, I understand
Ask
that.
Ross.
I
Any of them want that.
understand that.
Um,
We don't know of any
I've not, no one,
expedition interest or anything.
no one has reached out about that. Usually they do before, or once it goes up for bid. I mean, as you've seen before, if one of the departments comes to us and says, hey, we could use that, we'll certainly tell them to communicate that to you and let y'all decide.
Hey, Bob, I guess first choice on these sealed bids. I know obviously people come in like it's
The highest
bidder.
bidder.
I know it's highest bidder, but do we ever do anything like let the EMS people bid first or something like that? So
What do you mean, like just responders,
yeah,
EMTs and paramedics and whatnot?
that kind of thing, yeah.
Well,
Or even the police officers, that stuff. Just a thought.
I don't know that we, like the last time it was a part-time employee that was the highest bid for the last one that we sold.
Okay.
By far the highest bid.
I think that's the first time since I've been here that someone.
I would
employees even
suspect
considered
that
it.
there would be something.
Yeah.
That you couldn't do that.
Yeah.
That, you know, you can't give an employee first
Yeah.
dibs on something without.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
I
might be,
really don't know.
there might be somebody out in the public that's willing to give you
Yeah.
2 or 3 times what the employee was. So if you open it just for employees,
Just a thought. Fair enough.
Well, I move that we accept the director's request to place the 2011 ambulance and the 2012 Ford Expedition up for sealed bid.
I'll second it.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor? All opposed? Motion passed. Go ahead and do that, Bob.
We will, right, Debbie?
Yes. They'll be up there tomorrow.
Normally at this meeting, this is where I give you all the preview of, bless you, next year's budget request. I don't have it tonight. I didn't want to put together with a big placeholder because we're still trying to finish some pieces on the space study. We definitely want to include that in the budget. So our next steps on the budget, usually I give it to you tonight as just a preview, and then next month at 6:30, 30 minutes before the regular meeting, we have the ambulance fee hearing, which is basically just presenting that budget. And then after that hearing and public comment, then at the December meeting is when this board votes to approve that request to go forward. You're not funding it, but you're saying, yep, that's what we want you to go ask for. So the difference this year is I'm not giving you the preview today, but I will do my very best to try and get that done and sent out to everyone like a week before the meeting next month so that you have some time to look at it. You'll see that what we're going to ask for is pretty straightforward. We're going to ask for a new pay scale. I think the board supports, at least from everything I've heard, a new pay scale. We're probably going to ask for 8 more positions, which would be another crew of 2, 24 hours a day. I don't expect to get it, but I think we'd be derelict in our duties not to say we need more, we need more. Other than that, I don't think there's anything, it's not gonna be anything else in there except for just normal inflation. You know, health insurance goes up 8% a year and that kind of thing. So there's not gonna be any crazy stuff in there.
Well, how did that work? Or this board would be more or less dissolved, correct? I mean, I don't.
You're asking the wrong guy because
know.
I don't think,
I mean, I guess you have to present some type of budget, but yet what's good?
as long as this board is still here,
Right.
we've still got to keep going like because it's not done until it's done. Now, I know that, you know, we were asked to provide a timeline of when, if they didn't use Health Net and we did everything, when we could have everything done, and we said March 1st. And at that time, that's when the commission staff said, well, that's when we'll do the conversion is March 1st, same day. We're just flip the switch same day. Now, commission staff is apparently dealing with all the things that need to happen to make that work. I have no idea where they are on that. That's not my responsibility, not under me. I mean, we have 137 policies that need to be gone through and determine how they line up with county policies and fix that. This is the whole thing. We still haven't figured out what we're going to do yet about people that work for this agency and the county. Because you have 2 options, either us or the county, you know, one of the 2 departments will have to terminate them, or you're going to be paying those people over full-time at their part-time job now, which then creates some issues with the employees because they're going, well, wait a minute, because this guy works in that department too. Every time he comes to work here, he's getting overtime and I'm getting straight time to do the same job. That's not fair. These are all issues I pointed out. I don't know where they are with that. I can tell you that what we have found with trying to, we were initially instructed to get all the licensing and everything set up under the county's name and their EIN, and we started down that path, but we quickly found, for instance, when it came to billing, there's no way we could start fresh with the county as a new entity, getting everything set up. It wouldn't be done by March. It's going to take longer than that. If we set it up as under the ESA, because we've already had it, we have some things lined up, we basically just need to like refresh some things, we're good. So, but that also meant that our WB OEMS license, you couldn't set that up under the county and then have your billing set up for the agency. And I know this is a long story. I swore I was going to be quick tonight. So we ended up having to set that up under the agency. And then they'll have to go back and set it up we will have to go back now and, establish all these things under the county. And that's not gonna be done by March 1st. So if the board were to be eliminated as of March 1st, then the county nor the agency would be the only one with a license and the capability to bill, so the county wouldn't be able to, do anything. So the agency is gonna have to exist if for no other reason than that. What's the time gonna take? I don't really know. I don't really know.
So
But I'm not the one that what the commission voted on when they made that vote that, I disagreed with, that we would continue to do the transition as an ESA and then eventually becoming a county department. And then eventually got turned into, well, same day, March 1st, when you have your thing done, that's when we'll do it. That's not my decision, not me. I'm just telling you, it's not gonna be, this board can't go away March 1st. Not gonna be there. Did I answer your question?
It does, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in reality, kind of really, you're starting to really come to the reality of how screwed up it's gonna be.
I just, yeah, I mean,
I hope county commissioners are listening.
my position was that we needed to, if, I'm not in favor of converting to a county department, but if they're going to do that, we needed to get through this transition. And then, okay, now, let's see what needs to be done, what's gonna work, what are the complications, identify everything, figure out what needs to be addressed, and go from there. But they wanted to go now, put everything in the county's name, do it. We started down that path, but we got stopped right quickly and had to make a little change. So that's where we are.
Okay, thank you.
Back to the pay study. Chris Lyons is here tonight in case you have questions beyond what I'm capable of answering, but we will be getting, I don't know how we're gonna do it. If we're gonna get together, if we're gonna Zoom, if we're gonna email or what, but the folks that are on that, I know Brian's on there and Steve and Sarah and Josh and some other people that kind of pulled together some information. Chris has put all that into Excel and expanded his Excel skills over the last month or so. Because we're trying to get everything down to the same a common denominator. What you have is you have some jurisdictions will advertise firefighter EMT, $57,210 a year. Okay, how many hours is that? Does that include holidays? What's the schedule? So if you're working 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, then it's 2,080 hours. If you're working 24/72s, it's 2,184 hours. And some of them are working 2,900 hours a year. So if you tell me you can make 50,000 a year, working 2,900 hours, or you can make 40,000 a year, working 2,000 hours, you do a little math and hopefully you do some math and find out, but some people don't. Anyway, he's making sense of all that. He's got all the jurisdictions that are west of us. And I'm surprised at how bad we look compared to those to the west of us. I can't imagine what those to the east. You have a little bit of a, I don't know what you call it, but Berkeley County EMS is doing pretty well. But Berkeley Fire just upped the game. They had done some stuff. They got a raise. I think they ended up getting like a 10% across the board or something. Place to go right now is go be a firefighter at Berkeley County Fire, work a 12-hour shift. And you'll make more than the captains here. And you don't have to even have an EMT card, much less be a paramedic. You go be a firefighter, that's it. So now Berkeley Ambulance has identified that now they're in competition with fire. And so they are planning a 10 to 15% across the board raise over where they are now in the coming year. So they're both gonna shoot way ahead of us. And that's not gonna be pretty.
And these pay studies are gonna take that into account.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we've got to do that. Otherwise, we're
Yeah,
gonna
shoot higher.
give you numbers that are gonna be dead by the time they even come into play, which is what happened to us the last time. So, I mean, we're not gonna, we'll back it up. I mean, we'll include a note in there that this is where they are and this is where they are going to be by the time the fiscal year comes around. So when the ECC went to the commission with their proposal, they seemed to be very much supportive of getting on par or even ahead of, they wanted to really be above Berkeley, which I like the competition there. That's cool. Because I think we should try and be better than, all the time, better than everybody, because try to be the best. But I don't know if they'll be as enthusiastic. Wish I could know about.
Well, I'm saying, and you don't have any positions to eliminate, to offset that.
Right, when they went in, it was, this is gonna be budget neutral, so it was very easy to get excited about. When I go in and say, this is what we wanna do, and it's gonna cost $600,000,
Yeah.
I don't know that we're gonna be as excited.
Well, we gotta pay for EMS somehow. It's just a simple fact. If you ain't competing,
Put back.
it'll dissolve.
We are looking at turning this fourth bay, the one that's a drive-through bay, into a car wash. And so if you ever drive by and you see Sarah and I out there doing wheels at the end.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Got my little mean green machine.
All right, so Debbie's taking care of the class 2 advertisement in the Spirit and all that jazz. Do remember that next month, please be here at 6:30 for the ambulance fee public hearing. That is, I'll present the draft budget. It'll be open for public comment, and that's it. You don't take any action on it until we get into the meeting, and then you decide what you want to do. And we won't be here for Thanksgiving or Black Friday. We'll be at Ross's house. I know there's gonna be food at your house.
Yeah.
You have a Black Friday sale?
Huh?
You have a Black Friday sale?
No.
No?
Not selling tickets.
Is there anything the board needs of me or wants to know? Okay, great.
All righty, thank you for your report. Any unfinished business? I think nothing that we haven't already reported on. Any new business to come before the board? A new business?
The monkey business.
You're happy
What are you doing now?
I'm trying to make up for the fact that I talk longer than Ross. You know how embarrassing that is.
I'll ask you a question, that's all. Has there been any more thought on the current chase cars once this whole thing takes over?
Well, I mean, the chase cars are pretty easy at that point.
We're not gonna need them.
Well, I mean, we got one for the lieutenant. That's about it.
Huh?
The lieutenant.
You know, the lieutenant's not gonna be on the transporting them?
No, what I put out, and I swear I've like said this.
I don't know. You very well might. I don't
No, my goal has been to get them back off of there. I don't think they ever should have been put on a transport unit. Because they can't, they're doing evaluations on people that they can never see because they're committed to a transport unit in a specific jurisdiction. And they also, when they're committed in the back of that unit for, sometimes it's 20 minutes, but sometimes it's 2+ hours, they have no idea what's going on the shift and what kind of, mayhem could be ensuing. And they can be that, if we free them up, they can be that extra set of hands that will eliminate the need maybe for a second ambulance, or sometimes eliminate the need to dispatch an engine so you can get somebody to help lift or whatever. Plus it puts another paramedic out there in play, which.
Anything else to come before the board meeting this evening? Have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting for the evening.
Motion seconded that we adjourn.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Be
Night.
safe.
Drive safe.
Thanks.
Meeting adjourned.